Bitcoin, which is currently trading around $20,000, could plummet to as low as 5K. Stock markets won't recover for at least a decade, with blue-chip stocks like Apple and Tesla facing more downside, said Gareth Soloway. He suggested that consumer staple goods could perform well during the coming recession. Headline inflation in the UP5 has 8.3% in September. In response to high inflation, the Fed has hiked interest rates by 300 basis points over the year, and more hikes are expected since their November meeting. However, Soloway said that the Fed would eventually pivot and either slow their tightening or reverse entirely. To find out Soloway's stock picks and forecast, watch for the video.
It will signal a major bounce. But again, like I said before, stock market to me, 5-10 years before we make a new all-time high. But you know what it's gonna put a bottom in, and there's gonna be a new bull market. Bitcoin and gold will outperform, absolutely. As soon as you get a pivot, gold is gonna rip because the dollar will fall. Yeah. And Bitcoin still has some downside because it's still a risk asset, but down the line in like a year, I do expect a major bottom in Bitcoin.
Hold up, so are you saying the NASDAQ is gonna stay flat for 10 years as well?
So not flat, let's be clear on this, not making new all-time highs.
No new all-time
So like
highs.
think about the .com, right? It took 15 years to make new all-time highs on the NASDAQ. Yeah. If you look at the Brazilian market, if you look at the Hang Seng, both those markets made their highs in 2003, and they have never taken out those highs, but you've still had mini bull markets in there with huge moves to the upside.
But okay, so wouldn't that mean that Bitcoin isn't going to make new all-time highs because it's been correlated with the stock market?
Yeah, so you would think that it wouldn't make new all-time highs, but I actually think that there will be a pivot in Bitcoin as it matures, as regulation helps people feel more confident, institutions feel more confident. You're going to start to see it being treated much more like gold, which will then
it's going to start diverging from the stocks.
It will,
eventually.
not yet. I want to be clear to everyone out there. It's still going to take some time, but there will be probably in about 12 months a divergence that begins.
Bitcoin forecast, let's go. 6K was your last downside. What are you sticking to that?
So first support is 12 to 13,000. I think in the near term, we're going to see a little bit of a bounce, then a wave down to 12 to 13. And then I do worry that you're going sub 10 to 8, maybe even worst case scenario, 3,500. 3,500, very small percentage, but that would be the equivalent of Amazon.com's collapse in the .com era if it were to equal that.
Okay, gold?
Gold, I'm still a huge bull on gold. Remember, dollar's up 20% this year. Gold at the lowest was down 7%. If it's the correlation with gold and the dollar should have meant gold was down 20% when the dollar was up 20%. So the fact that it's only down 7 or now only down 5 or so, it tells me that big money's buying gold. That means it's going up. I'm a buyer of gold.